being able to take temperatures and meeting people at the door and stuff like that. So I figured the best thing for us to do was to come here and do a mock run through. And that way everybody know where they need to stand, what they need to be doing. And so we'll keep a nice good flow with the making sure that our people are moving and the people once we sit them are not moving unless they gotta go to the restroom. So as y'all see, we already got some postings and everything up. Let me stop for a minute. Let's pray. Let's pray. Elder, will you pray for us? From hitting the door all the way through. We're going to go through the positions that you hold and everything. We're going to go through that. I only have Elder here who is on the ministerial staff, and I sent the ministerial stuff out, but I'm still going to share with you all what's going to happen. It's going to be totally different for altar call, totally different for collecting money somewhat and stuff like that. So we want to make sure everybody knows where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be doing. If you're in the sound room, you got to watch Pastor Plummer's video for the sound room. And if you're with security, you're going to follow the directions of Elder. Okay? So as you can see, like I said, the front door is marked. Now, this particular door right here, once they come in this door, they will not be going back out that door. Okay? This door is only for coming in. As you see, you can see the floors are already marked. Okay? The floors are already marked. Now, we know that in the past, we had an in and an out. Going forward, we're going to really use the in and out. But before they get to the doors, and that's why I wish I had some greeters here. The greeters are going to be over here. They're going to be over there with hand sanitizers, gloves. We're going to have a temperature checker here. So our temperature checker is here. So I think that the safest place for you, Sister Alita, I'm sorry, is probably here, okay? Because the greeters are normally on that side over there. So if they can come in, take a step there, you just step as close as you have to get to them, take their temperature, and let them go in or turn them around, whatever the case. I don't know what the temperature max is.
99.9.
99.9, so you know. If it's 99.9, I'm sorry, we're going to have to actually...
Is there going to be a chair? Because sometimes people get hot, like coming in. Should I let them sit for a little while and then check, or just...
If it's safe and it's not going to cause congestion because their family is with them or something, so if their family's with them and you got one person out of the whole group with a high temperature, I doubt it if they're just hot. Because if all of us came in through the same sun, standing in the same area, pretty much we should all have the same temperature. Okay? And so we had, we don't want to cause a big scene, because if there's people at the door waiting to come in, you definitely want to be able, they definitely want to be able to check anybody's temperature. Okay? So if you, let me ask Bishop about it.
Okay.
Okay, because I just don't want us to cause congestion here, okay? And so once they get their temperature taken, though, so let's say we got a good temperature, they'll then meet the ushers. So I think instead of the your ushers being all the way inside, I think once we get here, these doors should be opened already, so nobody has to touch them. So we'll take the door. Now see, before we were always used to closing the door. This time we're going to open the doors. So if the door's open, they don't have to touch it. Okay?
We were thinking about having one here and then one at that door.
That was just my thought. Instead of being all the way inside, have somebody here. Instead of, because what'll happen is, if you don't have an usher here, you might get somebody to break off and say, I'll go through that door. But if you're here, you can say, just give me a minute. Let whoever's inside seat the people that's already there.
Okay.
And then you get ready for that. That'll keep our distance where it needs to be. Okay? Also encourage anybody that needs to go to the restroom. That might be the job of, don't have one here, a greeter.
Yeah.
Because the greeters are normally the ones that tell them where the restrooms are. So that way you don't have to deal with that.
Okay.
But encourage them to go to the restroom. Their family need to wait for them. Once they go, then you bring the whole family in at one time. Okay?
Maybe while they're waiting here, like if there's a line waiting for them to go in, like this little wait time, maybe we can say, if, you know, this is a good time. If you have to go to the restroom, you can take that time to go.
Yeah, just make sure we're not doing, you know, person coming in and person going out.
Okay.
If you can get, you know, if the greeter can get them right over there, that'd be great.
Okay.
I believe that I've heard them say, you know, the restrooms are here, you need to go to the restroom. And instead of letting them come all the way over here, and go all the way back. Get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Backtracking.
Okay? So, once we get to this door, if you got one here or even in the middle hall, that's fine. Because they're kind of between the two doors. This door here, same thing. It's going to be held open. Okay? Gonna do this.
Small services happening?
Now, let me say this. If prayer is going on, don't let anybody come in, okay? Honor prayer, honor the reading of the word, okay? Let them stop here. You could probably have a family here. Go back to this marker here, go to the next 6-foot marker, and spread them out that way. Don't let them bunch them, okay?
Okay. Yeah, that's why I put this.
Like when there's an overflow,
Our capacity is 60.
60, so everybody else is saying,
Compared to the chairs, we can do 60.
okay.
And I think we'll be fine because our kids are not coming back yet. Not all the little ones, okay?
Okay.
All right? So just don't bunch them up. Spread people out. And if the usher, you want the usher to stay here while the other usher bring them in, that's fine. Okay? Just try not to. Bishop has conditions that put him in the high category, okay? The ministers, again, also, the ministers will be in the front as we always do. Even if they're in the back behind Bishop, where Bishop and I normally sit, they will still be spread out, six chairs, you might as well say, apart, spaced out. Even with the few of us that's been here during this whole time of COVID, we're spread out. I'm over there, Pastor Kim is over there, Shabrice is over here. I mean, we've been really spread out. Okay, JR, he's working in sound room, so, you know, sound room's a little bit tighter, but we still been trying to practice social distancing, okay? Once communion starts, Pastor Kim and I will, now what's going to be tricky, Pastor Kim, is who's taking communion and where they're sitting on tomorrow. So if I don't have a basket that just have all the people on this side, if you don't have a basket with people just on this side or whatever, then we're going to be doing a little bit of crossing, but we'll do the best we can based on where people are sitting. So you may see us moving around a little bit, but we will have on our mask, we will have on our gloves, and we want to just make sure everybody else have on their mask as well, okay? Just so we can get communion handed out, okay? Once communion is taken and it's over, and I don't know how we missed this last time, we need to get the white trash cans. If those of you that take communion, take your communion, take the sacrament cup and put it inside the Ziploc bag that we're going to give you. Zip it up in the bag, and then once communion is over, we'll take that little white trash can. We have 2 of them. We'll drop the Ziploc bag, the whole thing inside, tie it, and get rid of it, okay? So once you're done with communion, and we'll try to communicate that message, put the empty little cup inside, zip it, okay? All right, that's communion. Okay? When we get to the point of collecting offering, okay? When we get ready to do that, we will not be able to create a line. You know how we normally have a line waiting for people to swipe or whatever, we won't be able to do that. We'll probably have to break the line up if there is a line. Just if, you know, if you, the ushers, if you see people getting too tight, you're gonna have to ask them to spread out for collecting offering, okay?
That was a question that I had as far as like I didn't put any stickers inside the sanctuary. I know there's like certain ones that I can order that go on carpet, but I wasn't
Okay.
sure if that was something that you guys wanted me to do.
Yeah, we probably need to, because we don't know when this thing can be over.
Or
Just
even
so-
like if I could find like tape just to put like a line.
Yeah, even that's fine, yeah. That'll be great. What we're trying to, you know, again, do is the least amount of contact.
Right.
So if, you know, if we got a line here, we just ask everybody, you know, take a couple steps back, break that line up. Most of the people in the church do use the text to give. We do still have a few people that swipe their card, but if you can't do text to give, do text to give. That eliminates the whole thing. There's still a few, if we get visitors, most likely we're gonna get paper money, okay? We don't want a bunch of touching, so that person will have to get up out their seat, and they will have to come around, and they will have to then put their money into an offering pen. Now this is where it's going to get tricky, okay? Say that person is sitting in the middle, and they got to come out. Instead of them stepping over the person, this, if you can catch it, because you're not going to catch everything, you may have to come to that row and ask that family, you know, to come out. Because if not, they're going to step over them. How else are they going to get out? So you may have to just ask them, you know, could you just please come out? And maybe when you bring them out, bring them over to the side over here, okay? And then once that person comes back. And then hopefully we won't have too many of those scenarios where it's a person in the middle that needs to get out. To come. I mean, we got to think of things like this because it can happen. It's a person in the middle. They need to go to the restroom. They need to, you know, they need to get up and go swipe their card. You know, what are you going to do? We got to work it out the best way we can. And you all may see something easier to do than that. If you think,
Is it
I was just
possible?
thinking of like coming,
go ahead.
coming around with the offering bucket.
Me too. Just
As
like the,
opposed to them coming out, just
That might
one
be
person
better.
coming
I
out
had
with the bucket.
suggested that we, you know, came around with the offering bucket, but finances said they didn't think it was a good idea for everybody to be touching everybody's money, because I was thinking to come on the end with the bucket and pass all the money down. Pass it all the money down and then drop it in the bucket. They said that's too much touching.
But what if
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
just one
Yeah.
person, like
Yeah.
one of the ushers
Yeah.
or something, and we just do the crossing over of the people?
So
if
how do we
if
do-
we have to?
How do we do the swipe?
No, the swipe, they still come up to, I'm talking about cash.
Okay.
So like if they, so that they don't have to get out of
So-
their seat.
so
to
what we
cash,
can
but
do
then
during
we still do
offering
gotta worry
is-
about if they gotta come up to
So
swipe.
so this is what you're thinking. Help me, Mahogany. So anyone that wants to give by way of cash,
Right,
just stand where you are,
Right.
raise your right hand, the usher will come to you.
yes.
right.
That makes good sense.
Right.
That
And
makes
the
good
same-
sense.
The same thing can happen
And
with
then
the
same
swipe
thing-
too.
Yeah, I
If-
was just thinking
if they
that.
got
Why
the
would you
or-
say that?
If they have the little square, then they can go to that person to reduce the amount of traffic flow.
Right.
And they can get them
Well,
right in
yeah,
their
if they
seat.
had it on their phone, yeah, they could easily just go.
Yeah, because I know we got the few of the little blocks. I've seen it in the sanctuary before.
Well, because nobody's here for finances, I don't even, you know, we can't
Oh,
even
okay.
work that out right now. So the best thing to do is to let them come up for now, so so we don't have any confusion. We can talk about it in one of our meetings, and the two of you, that was a great idea. Just go to them and say, you know, raise your right hand, stand here, and usher will come to you. That makes good sense. That makes good sense. So make sure you all have on gloves, okay? Make sure you have on gloves, okay? Did I miss something?
I mean, we could also, like the ushers could also, if they do have a card, we could also take their card over to, you know.
If they're
You
comfortable.
don't. You really don't want to do that.
Yeah, and if you think about it, we use our cards a lot.
Right.
My son had brought this to my attention. He said, Mom, he said, you go in the store, you swipe your card, then you touch that keypad that everybody else has been touching, and you take your same card, you don't clean it, nothing, you stick it back in your purse. And I'm like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
So, if you don't have to expose yourself though, okay? I mean, I believe pretty much that the people that's gonna be in service is gonna be, you know, healthy and not asymptomatic or whatever, but it could happen. It can happen. We know when we're sick, and then there's some of us, we don't know we're sick because we don't have any symptoms. What can you do? All we can do is try to catch things that might, you know, happen. Okay? So, coming in, seating everyone, communion for tomorrow, okay? Offering for tomorrow. Now, this is where it's going to change a little bit. So, normally, after the benediction, everybody will kind of get up and they will go out. Now, you all can help me with this. Do you think it's a good idea that we let one side exit first? Because we are going to be exiting out of these side doors. Which
Both
one?
of
This
them.
one or this one?
Both doors will be open so they can exit.
So we got this door here that's going to be open, and we got this door here that's going to be open. So the people on this side,
Where
because
does
what's
that
going to
go?
happen is you're going to have people that
That
say,
side street.
over here say, my car's over there.
Right.
And you got people over here saying, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So we want, if we can let everybody dismiss, and it's just a steady flow out the door, instead of stopping and congregating and talking, that would be the best thing. So
I mean, we could also say, you know, I don't know if it'll cause confusion, but, you know, is your vehicle closer to this side? If your vehicle's closer to this side, please stand and we'll exit the vehicle.
Or
Or you can ask them when you're sitting there.
you could ask them before you seat them.
yeah, that's what she just said.
And ask them, well, did you park over this side or did you park near this, or did you park in the center lot? And if
Because
they
the center lot don't matter.
right, the center lot, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
The catch is that one over there is a step down.
Okay.
So anybody in a walker or
That'd be a problem
physically
for them,
challenged, you need to seat them on this side.
Yes. Yes.
And we
definitely.
can get them out. Because we're going to be setting up a tent on each side with water. The only problem with this side is we got to cone it off. So I got to get here very early before that baseball cage opens
Yeah,
up
because they'll fill that
to
right
cone
up.
it off. You know, because if not, they're going to park right in front of this door. So
So it's going to be a little bit more work for you all, you know, with the, you know, just getting everybody seated. Now, one of the things you can do is any ushers that's not ushering tomorrow, you may want to tell them that they don't need to shadow you, but they definitely need to pay attention to what you're doing on tomorrow, okay? So again, we'll be exiting out of the side doors. Once they exit out that door, they're not to come back in it, okay? So, you know, people need to make sure they have their things so they don't have to come back in that door. And we're not going to allow people to flow in and out of the cafe area, okay? Now, if they choose to stand outside and talk, by all means, they can, you know. We just don't want people in here congregating and talking. And even though the cleaning service is not coming until after the second church, we still want to make sure we can do what we got to do to prepare for the second church that's coming in, so it's clean for them. All right? Any questions? Anything I missed? Okay.
So once they go out, will there be someone directing them to where they have to go as far
yeah,
as
security will be on both doors. We'll be standing outside. We'll prop the doors open, and then we'll probably have to hold the doors open wide enough for people to get out so they don't have to keep touching the door. But we'll be out there as well, you know, showing them where to go, trying to monitor the tent with water. And that's what we may need to pull on some of the ushers as well,
Yeah.
you know, because there's only 2 of us a day.
And even if it's just somebody out there to help just hand out water.
Right.
Okay.
So after that, once, you know, Bishop wants the sanctuary empty immediately.
Yeah.
So right after services, you know, even us leaders, we're going to have to, if we're not cleaning up breaking
We
down.
gotta get out of here.
We got to get out of here. So the ministers may be called on to work those tables to help get people out. But we're trying to clear the sanctuary out so we can get it done and clean it up, and then we can go.
Oh,
So-
I missed something. Thank you. Y'all forgive me. So much in my head. Altar call. Altar call is going to be done at your seat. Okay? So once service is over, after the preach word, altar call is going to be, if anybody had a desire to go to the altar, they're going to just stand where they are. Okay? And we're going to pray for them where they are. There'll be no more contact. Okay? No more laying hands and people getting behind people with blankets and stuff like that. We will not be doing that, okay? Until the Lord say so. Okay? So all altar call is going to be done in the seat. Now somebody wants that intimate prayer, they're going to have to still do our 1 to 5 o'clock, okay? Or get one of our weekday prayer to get that intimate prayer that they want on the phone. But it's going to be here. Now, say just by chance somebody stands up for prayer and the Lord gives them a breakthrough and we see them, that they may, get happy in the spirit. The ministers are going to then be prepared to go over to assist that individual, okay? With our masks, with our gloves, and if there needs to be a blanket, we need to have some ready because people do come undone, okay? So that's how altar call is going to go for now, okay? Bishop and I are always at you all, at your service. Y'all know that. So, if it's something that, maybe one of the church members want to talk to us, y'all know what days we're available and you're able to call us and talk to us. Send us an email. You got all kinds of methods to get in contact with us. But we just won't be doing up there, okay? Okay.
So the cleaning thing, let me understand. If you're cleaning
Yes.
the bathroom, so do we go outside first?
No.
Where everybody else?
If you're in here cleaning and stuff, you do your duty as cleaning the bathrooms and stuff like that. We're talking about visitors and people that don't have any responsibilities. Like even me, if I minister and I'm done, I'm going out. Okay? I'm going into my office. I'm not going to stand here and hold up because people are cleaning. And so, no, you stay in and do what you need to do to clean, then you go out. Okay? So you can let anybody cleaning know that. Stay in, let's get everything wiped down, the mics wiped down, the door handles knocked wiped down and stuff like that. Then you go out. Because that don't make sense for you to go out and then come back in, you got to clean. Okay?
Just one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
In the way of dismissal, if there's possibly someone who has an emergency and we are not done with service, are we utilizing a different exit strategy?
I still think we should go out that side door.
But
Now,
if
if it's you know what? Let me ask
No.
Bishop that because that could be interrupting.
Because that was my
That could
question.
be, yeah.
Because if there's an
think about that.
emergency or if
Mhm.
either you or Bishop are ministering at
Yep.
the time and they have an emergency and have to leave, going out of those doors could
We
be
can
somewhat
go out
distracting.
We
Okay.
can let them out the Genesis
getting ready to
Cafe
go, yes.
side door.
Out the cafe door.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was getting ready to say we can go out that makes sense. Go out the outdoor to the cafe door that's over here on the side
Okay.
and let them out. Okay? But that means, they need to let somebody know that. Okay? So it's just a little bit more visualization, just kind of looking at people and seeing what their needs are and stuff like that so that we don't want it to be like robots. We want to be in here and be able to worship and stuff like that, but we just got to keep everything in order. And we're doing it for not just the people here safety, but for our safety. You get what I'm saying? It's for our safety. For those of us that serve, we're a lot more exposed than somebody just coming in sitting with their family. Okay? You all exposed. Every time you walk a family in, you're exposed. Every time you see somebody, you're exposed. And I know, you all know that, but what I'm saying is still, we want everybody to leave out whole and well and blessed of the Lord. Okay?
How long do you need to stay out to take the temperatures?
I would stay out there. Let's see. Now, this is the thing. And I don't know, maybe Pastor Kim or Elder can help me with this. Bishop did say something about the latecomers.
Mhm.
He said something about the latecomers in our last meeting.
Yeah,
Trying
he
to
did
remember.
mention.
Do you remember what it was, Lori?
I think he said that there are latecomers
Yes, I remember saying
and
that.
that you being what you're doing, you might have to be out there pretty much the whole service or
How
almost.
am I gonna serve Bishop as well?
You can't.
You can't.
I'm thinking this. Service starts at 11 o'clock.
I plan on being here by 10:30.
And I'm thinking, not even for you, I ain't worried about you. I'm talking about the person that wants to come to church at 12:30.
Right.
We do have several people that get here 11:30.
Really?
I
12
don't mind
o'clock.
staying out there. I just want to know.
But that's
because
not
then
fair
I
to
have
you.
I don't want him to think I'm not of service to him, and I have to set up his.
That's another question
Everything,
we'll ask
so-
Bishop. We'll ask Bishop how long, because we do have people that come in here, you know, after
Yeah.
we're just about almost done.
Yeah.
And they'll come in.
Are you the only nurse that we have?
I sent out an email, but I didn't get any
Right now she
hits.
is.
So yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions?
What time did you want, like the usher staff, everyone to be here? 10:30 or?
Yeah, anybody's serving should be here at 10:30.
10:30.
Yeah, anyone serving. Ushers, greeters, it should be here at 10:30.
Okay.
I think that's reasonable, because we could then work out little things that, you know, might didn't think of. That gives us enough time to you know, kind of work that thing out. We come in at the last minute,
Yeah.
and we get stuff like that, and then people are like, where's the, what time did you get here? So, you know, I know I feel crazy. When I come in at the last minute, I feel crazy. It's like, oh my God, I gotta get you. I feel crazy. I do, because I just don't feel like I had that time to think. All right? Any questions? Any-
Should I get a do not enter sign to the front door? I have another one. I have another sign in the box, but I needed tape, and I didn't have it last time I was here, so I'll make sure I have tape for tomorrow.
Another one
Put it
says
on.
do not enter.
It doesn't say, the sign I have doesn't say do not enter. It has
Okay.
a few things, you know, what they should expect coming through.
Okay.
But a do not enter sign for the inside of the door, for anyone who might be urged to try to go out that door.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Even in that, we're gonna need somebody to be out there because they're not gonna know to exit through this door, which is locked. It's not a
Right.
push bar.
Right.
You know, it's a, you know, we have to literally physically open that door.
Now, do any, what's the question? The sign, that's what it is. Do we have a sign that's saying if you have any of these symptoms?
Yeah.
I think that's what that sign says. I can't recall. It says
Yeah.
a few different things on
Okay.
I sent one to Shonda.
Okay.
She's supposed to put it on the door. It says stop if you had been around
Yep,
anybody.
yep,
It lists
yep.
everything.
Okay, yeah. Because I saw those everywhere we went today.
Right.
Okay. Everybody good? Well, welcome back. God